I'm working on a sculpture here today, which is kind of cool, of Nefertiti. It's a project for a piece that's going to go up on a wall, two of them facing each other in bronze, ultimately. So the whole idea is to create a piece that's very powerful as you walk into this doorway. The two pieces are going to face each other, and I've chosen to do it in zBrush rather than classical means. So I'm just showing you here today how I use this software to create something and how later on I bring it over to the foundry. So hope you like the process. Today I'm just showing you how I add a hand to the whole piece. So thanks, hope you like it. Hey guys, so as I just mentioned, this is the piece that I have been working on. And this is sort of a simulation of what I want it to look like when these two pieces are up on my wall. Actually, they're going in a different building, but they're supposed to create a very dramatic feeling as you walk into this palatial type home. Okay, so just for those of you who aren't familiar with this technique, I am creating these in bronze. But instead of doing a regular bronze cast, you know, hand sculpted clay piece, I'm using the software that I use to do special effects for film to actually create a sculpture instead. So this is zBrush. A lot of you know what this is. So having said that, if you know what this is, then I'll just keep talking. But I'm going to just talk about what I'm doing here. So I created this sculpture of Nefertiti, my own sort of rendition of her, utilizing a little bit of Art Deco style. In the end, once I 3D printed in a waxy material, I'm going to go in and finish it by hand using hand tools, so it'll look hand sculpted, and at that point it's going to go to the foundry, so it'll look handmade, it won't look 3D printed. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I took a basic base mesh in Maya of a hand that I created. It's very rudimentary right now, you can see it's still very bulky and unrefined. And I'm just going in and I'm adding the natural details which you would use to make a hand look real. I'm adding the soft little cushiony parts of the fingers and also the bones under the skin, the various wrinkles and details and little pads that add to the realism of the hand. It's useful also, by the way, you know, we happen to have a hand, two hands, most of us right in front of us, so, you know, in terms of using reference material, just look at your hand. In my case, I'm making it a bit more feminine. I'm working the hand separately because it has its own amount of detail and I want it to look organic, but you'll see once I bring it into the 3D model that I already created of Nefertiti, that the hand actually looks a little old, so then I soften up the wrinkles to match the face. Anyway, so right now I'm adding in some basic wrinkles. You aren't even going to see most of these, so I'm not spending a huge amount of time going in doing some of the stuff I would do for film. If this was going to be rigged for a film or for a game, I might go in and add fingerprints and stuff like that. Okay, so I always constantly rotate the model, regularly changing materials to... The materials in zBrush are great because they really give you a different idea of different materials, pick up different amounts of detail, and so by switching it around fairly often, it gives you a chance to kind of get a feel for it. In this case, it's sort of a fleshy looking orange material. I'll switch it around. Putting some of the detail in the front, the veins. I always rotate it too. This is another thing. Always get a really refined view of what you're doing. Now it's starting to look more natural, more elegant. Still needs some work. I'm going to go in and add the little areas of skin around the nail, some of the detail of the wrinkles. Again, once I pose this, because there could be two hands, the little whispering finger in front of her lips, so they'll be folded over and you won't see a lot of this stuff, so in the end I'll go in and add more detail. Sorry about that, just got a call. Always rotating it, making sure you really... Okay, so now I'm importing it into my basic model of Nefertiti to get an idea of what the hand looks like in conjunction with the body, or the bust, the face I've done. You'll notice that I actually went in earlier and actually gave her paint, a texture on the face. Okay, so now I'm just doing a very basic, very rough, still very mechanical type pose on the hands. It's going to look a little rough to begin with. And we're going to get some creasing going on, but I'm going to go in and re-soften everything. Now I'm just adding a couple makeshift sort of sleeves. I'm just playing around a little bit with what I want. The back of the hair there, I'm going to go in and add little curls of hair instead of just a flat thing. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just showing really the hand. Placing the other one there. You see I'm softening everything up. Much softer than they were before. This was sort of a hand that might belong to, you know, maybe a 19-year-old, the Nefertiti, 20, quite young. Now I'm adding some jewelry, which I'm going to improve on. I'm going to add a bunch of detail, which will look beautiful in the bronze. A ring I'm creating here, which is kind of cool, and it's 3 rings joined with little chains, and when her fist is closed, they form a scarab. Here I'm actually just getting an idea of whether I want this elevated bust to have any kind of a garment. Here I'm adding some chains to her ring. So here I'm just kind of deciding whether or not I'm going to have these sort of drooping sleeves, changing color regularly, remind me of different angles and whatnot. Now, this is pretty much the final inspection here. I'm just going through. I'm going to give her a little bit of an asymmetrical twist to her face, just so she doesn't look like she's too robotic. And that's it. So now I'm going to go and wrap up some of the details, and hopefully when she's finished, she will look something like this. And I'll send you pictures, and I'll make a little video once this is actually cast in bronze. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.